So tonight when I did the meditation, uh, like something came up before the meditation where I realized that a friend was going out to do something that I wasn't invited to. And just before I started the meditation, there was this kind of feeling of loneliness. And it just kind of flooded my body. And so that's what I sat with throughout the whole meditation. And it kind of wasn't until I had done like 55 minutes of meditation that some tears came up. And the tears were important because that was like releasing the feeling that was trapped in my body, which was this deep feeling of loneliness. And whenever I get this, because it's not like, it's something that comes up in my life, and I'm sure it comes up in other people's lives. And one of the things that I'm really hoping from all this self-connection experiment, this meditation, is that I am going to kind of connect so deeply with myself that I'm not even craving to be invited or included or whatever. I'm not even gonna feel these feelings of being left out. And I already feel like there's a difference happening me. Like, I don't know if it's to say I'm not bothered, but what I love is that when I feel a feeling, it just dissolves. It doesn't stay with me forever. It will eventually go. And sometimes it only takes a few minutes. Sometimes it takes an hour or 2 hours. And these feelings were really intense. They just came up, and it was just this feeling. I'm not feeling homesick for London, and I'm not feeling, like I'm missing out from something there, because in all honesty, I didn't feel like I had that connection there anyway. So I guess I'm kind of maybe wanting, I don't know, I was wanting community here to be really strong. And at the beginning when I arrived, it really, really was. But I guess as time's gone on, it's maybe that I haven't found the right people here on the island yet, 100%. And maybe the other thing is that when we know ourselves really, really strongly, and when we are really at home in our bodies, like we can sit with ourselves for days or weeks and, not feel disconnected in any way, then that's the moment when maybe, community happens naturally. There's so much nature here. Like, I love connecting with the animals. Is really interesting. Working on the horse farm, because something that the horse trainer said to me is that he said, horses take you as you are. They see you as you are. They don't see any more. They don't see any less. It's just you. Maybe I'm wanting them to see more, like I'm wanting to feel special to them, but it's not like that with horses. They see you as they are, no more, no less. And that's also a really, really good point. Maybe, this feeling when we're not needed, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it just means that everyone around us is getting on with their own stuff and has got stuff to do. And, that is also a really good feeling when people don't need you. It's like I'm here when people need me. But the other thing is we don't know what life is going to need us for, or the universe is going to need us for. And maybe the universe needs me to be kind of empty, if you like, of other people. Maybe there is some greater purpose that's coming into my life that I'm going to need a lot of space and energy for. Like today at the farm, a young girl came in, and she, she's wanting to volunteer, and, maybe she has special needs in a little way, and and just to be with her today and support her as she went to the farm for the first time. And it was like, yeah, there are places in my life where I'm going to be needed and useful, and where maybe me being there is important, and maybe it's not about like having lots of people who are inviting me, this, that, and the other. And then this week I had someone invite me out for dinner with some of their friends. We met a couple of times, met at an art exhibition, and that was, really nice and spontaneous. And But yeah, like loneliness is a weird one. And I went to see Teal Swan speak in Birmingham, and she's written a book on loneliness. And I know Russell Brand talks a lot on loneliness. And we've seen some of the brightest stars in the world die. Like Robin Williams cuts me up every time I think about him. And it's like, how could someone like that not feel like he could tell anyone what's going on? Like that he could feel, like suicide was an option. Like he must have felt lonely in that pain. And that bothers me. Like some of the most amazing people in this world are feeling lonely, and we maybe have an epidemic of loneliness. And I think it's because of Instagram and all these filtered as fuck channels, people are supposed to present the image of having it all together and being, like the life and soul of the party and the most popular person. And it's about how many likes you've got and how many followers you've got. And all that stuff is just illusion. Underneath it all, what's the actual real connection you have with people? That's so much more important. It just so happens for me that some of my favorite people in the world are in other parts of the world. Like these are the people that to me are the best friends, the truest friends. There also happen to some of them be the most talented people that I've ever met. So they just fascinate me all the time with things that they have to say or the music that they create or the observations that they make on life. And I could listen to these people for hours, and I wish they were right here beside me, but they're just not, So we communicate through WhatsApp, and it's enough for now. And we send each other things we create, YouTube links of people that are going to inspire each other, and and I've also been to intimacy workshops, and this craving for touch and connection is so real for everybody. And some people have to get drunk to get the connection. Some people think they can only get the connection in a monogamous relationship or even a relationship, like to even just ask a friend for a hug or maybe even more than a hug, to ask to maybe for someone to sleep over and like cuddle you or something. Like we find that really hard because then it's as if like you can only do that if you're having sex with someone. You can't just ask for those other things unless that's like a really close friend or your sister or, so people become afraid to ask for what they want and they just shut down and they just go without and they get used to going without. And yeah, I'm just thinking like, one of the ways we can deal with this is being okay with ourselves. And I know that the 3 greatest days that I remember in my life was when I spent 3 days alone with myself, making videos, music videos, and, just playing basically for 3 days. I turned my house into like a green room and a film studio, like, just for fun. And I honestly was just having so much fun for 3 days. It was as if I was playing with someone else. And that might sound really weird, but it was like I was playing with someone else, but I wasn't. I was just playing with myself and I was entertaining myself and it was amazing. And, when we think about ourselves or when we talk to ourselves, it's like we even say, I'm talking to myself. Oh, sorry, I'm talking to myself. I'm myself. There are two people in that equation, I and myself. So in a way, we're not alone because there is an I and a myself that we talk to all the time. We can be our best friend. We can nurture ourselves as if we're someone else. You can literally talk to yourself like you would someone who you care a lot about and, be like, oh, I'm going to run you a bath and I'm going to go buy you some flowers and I'm going to make you a nice meal, just in the same way that you would do for someone else, right? But I don't know, like we can sometimes get into the trap of never being okay about being alone. It's like we always have to call someone. We can't just go for coffee and take a notebook and just do some writing or even just sit. It's like we have to invite someone. It's like, and it's kind of a trap, and how comfortable can we be with ourselves? That's definitely something that I'm thinking about in this self-connection experiment. So let's see how it goes.